Siamese fighting fish. Fascinating creatures. Brave, but on the whole stupid. Yes, they're stupid. Except for the occasional one such as we have here, who lets the other two fight. While he waits. Waits until the survivor is so exhausted that he cannot defend himself. And then, like Spectre, he strikes.
I find the parallel amusing.
Our organization did not arrange for you to come over from the Russians just for amusement, number 3. Come in, Kronstein.
All right, that's enough.
Sit down, number 3.
1963, the same year they killed Kennedy. Let's go to Doug and Joe Hagmann of Hagmann and Hagmann, father and son investigators, with all their great sources, a lot of great intel over the years we've gotten from them on what they see coming in the new year. I see economic warfare, maybe false flags to blame domestic groups. They're definitely, I remember you were on with us 2 years ago, and I didn't roll my eyes, Doug, because you'd given me a lot of intel that really turned out to be accurate over the years. But you said from your FBI and Homeland Security sources, they said the Justice Department is going to go to the next level, even though they didn't think they could get it going with the whole Zimmerman thing, that they're going to go to race war and then war on the police. And then that has now happened. Give us the latest intel on what's unfolding.
Alex, thanks for having us on the show again. And, you know, a very good clip, by the way, from the 1963 movie. The beta fish, the Siamese fighting fish, obviously puff up when they see another male of the species. So this is what's happening here. Perfect correlation of what's happening here. But to cut to the real heart of the matter here, aside from people like Michael Grunwald from Politico saying everything's awesome, or reporting everything's awesome, what we're seeing happen here today, I believe, based on our sources, in the larger sense, and then we can, in the macro sense, and then we can burrow it down. But in the macro sense, what we've got is, geopolitically, we've got Russia and America at odds, and an economic warfare very similar to what we saw with America and Japan prior to World War II. You had the economic sanctions against Japan, the embargo, and bam, it turned into Pearl Harbor and a hot war. I think that we're seeing that run up right now. The parallels are just indeed incredible to that, to the 1940-41 era, time period. And if we keep in mind, Alex, that right now, well, as of 2013, for example, oil, natural gas accounted for 68, almost 70% of Russia's total export revenues for 2013. So what we're doing is essentially, and we've got a three-pronged approach against Russia. We're hitting them economically with the oil and gas glut prices, whatever you want to call it, via Saudi Arabia, the Saudi agenda. You've got the attack on the ruble asymmetrically against Russia, and then you've got the more open and overt warfare, the lines of battle, which include Syria and Ukraine. So we're actually giving them a three-pronged kind of battlefield, which is going on. That's the macro of everything, I believe. So while people are rejoicing over $2.38 gallon of gas, people have got to understand where that's coming from and why we've got that. Having said all of that, drilling down domestically, you've got the very same globalists who are inking out, and Joe did a lot of research on this, inking out the geopolitical affairs. You've got this very same globalists, and our sources are telling us in person and in other means that not only is the domestic situation with respect to race wars going to increase, there will be just a full court press for additional race wars. We saw that happen nearby Ferguson over this last holiday. And I think what's going to happen is more and more, you're going to have police being shot at, police being killed. This is going to usher in a new level of draconian laws against the citizens. And by the way, the Sony hack, if I can just reference that too, and I don't want to seem like I'm going all over the place, the Sony hack does figure prominently into this with cybersecurity.
Stay there. I want to come back and get Joe's take geopolitically and economically with some of the data as well. We will continue straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones, your host. Infowars.com is the main site. Backup Mirror, PrisonPlanet.com. And you can also be a subscriber if you want to see the nightly news and more at PrisonPlanet.tv. Stay with us. We'll be back straight ahead.
Yes, family and friends are gathering to give gifts and wish health and security. But why not enhance cell phone and wireless device security all year with Block-It Pocket? A family-owned American business, we now have 2 spectacular holiday specials. Find them now at our new website, blockitpocket.com, or call 888-315-9618. Hurry, holiday special ends Christmas Day. Give the gift of security from blockitpocket.com, wishing you health, freedom, and liberty.
The CDC just announced flu vaccines may have the wrong strain of flu virus. You may not be protected. Whatever your lifestyle, your immune system is critical, and Immudyne provides your immune support. Doctor recommended, stimulant-free, and not found in pharmacies. Go to Immudyne.com to find out more or to place an order, or call 866-257-8668. That's IMMUDYNE.com or 866-257-8668. Remember, Immudyne is key support for your immune system.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
If you have candida overgrowth, just taking antifungal agents or starving yourself of sweets does not address the cause. Candida overgrowth is the result of a toxic, damaged, acidic, low oxygen, and inflamed tissue environment. The goal should be to remove the toxins, heal damaged tissues, restore healthy pH, eliminate inflammation, and feed beneficial bacteria. Previous usage of antibiotics or steroids or exposure to mercury or other toxins can damage many cells in the GI tract and body that make you prone to candida overgrowth. Removing toxins and healing tissues should be the goal. One World Whey is a whey protein food that supports detoxification, repair of tissues, and elimination of inflammation, healthy pH, and growth of beneficial bacteria. One World Whey is duly reformulated to be higher in protein and lower in carbohydrate. We believe One World Whey is an excellent food to support your efforts to create a healthy internal body environment. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Coming up in the next segment, we're going to open the phones up on any question, comment, or topic you'd like to raise for our guest. But undoubtedly, the world is going into a state of artificially created destabilization, so a handful of large financial interests can consolidate power. We have major global government treaties going through right now that Congress isn't even allowed to see. Meanwhile, in the last piece of funding legislation that passed a few weeks ago, pension fund rating laws changed so they can steal private pensions, not just public. Laws changed so they can sign everybody on to unlimited derivatives, bigger than the banker bailout of 2008. Huge things are happening, and then meanwhile, we have the article up on Infowars.com with the video and photos. Black Lives Matter protests smash up Oakland Christmas tree. Vandals say cops should have no time off in violent demonstrations. Another story, spoiled brats complain about Christmas gifts, stupid parents. What's going to happen when a depression hits? I don't think there's a question of if, just when, with all the spoiled brats in this country. That's just some of the stories up on Infowars.com. This is a short segment with Hagmann and Hagmann. They're with us for about 10, 15 minutes into the next hour, Doug and Joe Hagmann. I want to go back, and then I want to get some of the economic data that your son Joe has, because I know he does a lot of the deep research. But Doug, specifically, you kept harping 2 years ago that their main strategy was race war. We'd caught the Justice Department involved, stirring up some of the riots, smaller riots that happened. They were, of course, upset about the fact they were small. Not to sting people, that'd be bad enough, but to actually get it going. What does Obama and the people he's got running his operation think they're going to do by stirring up race riots in this country? What's the end game of that? Because I know you have some sources in Homeland Security that you said are really freaked out about this, and this attempt to play the public off against local law enforcement. What is the end game, and how is that going for them?
You know what, Alex, from my perspective and from my sources, it's the end game objective here is to, first of all, create the chaos, create the problem, and then, of course, come in with the solution. And the solution is going to be a very large-scale, draconian-style, even a martial law scenario type of thing to really oppress the people and take away our rights. And
that's what you said 2 years ago, and now it's happening.
Well, yes, geographically, in little pockets around the country. But the people at DHS, according to my DHS source, which is a different one than 2 years ago, I got handed off in that respect, is saying, look, you know, they are getting very impatient with respect to the fact that this is not happening fast enough. So they very well might create or exacerbate already existing situations so they can advance this objective. And I know Joe's talked to my sources as well and done his own research to the extent that both of our sources, both of our research does match up, and this is coming, Alex. And as you pointed out many times, this is coming indeed, and it's to divide and conquer from within.
Well, sure. I mean, we've caught the Justice Department stirring it up over and over again with the controlled media, so that's proof right there. But the fact that your sources said this was the plan 2 years ago, and we now see it being executed. I think the good news is that Obama is, I guess, frustrated then that it's not happening on a big enough scale. I guess the public's too smart for that?
Well, yeah, and Joe was talking about this earlier. It's the people, the alternative media right now is really making a difference in terms of the people who are awake, people like you and us talking to people. It's starting to make a difference, and quite frankly, it's starting to hack off the people that are trying to push forward this agenda. So, you know, now you can throw in the cybersecurity bill on top of this, or, you know, the Sony hack, which will perhaps lead to a cybersecurity bill. Joe's done a lot of research on this.
I want to get your take. We're going to come back and throw it to Joe on the Sony hack and on the economic data on the oil war that's going on with the Saudis, the Russians, and the U.S. But briefly, in the minute we've got before we go to break, any other intel on the civil unrest that the globalists are trying to stir up?
Watch this spring and this summer. That's words directly from my source at DHS. It's going to get very hot in this country if they have their way.
More cops getting executed?
Well, that's a given, and it's going to lead up to a summer of discontent, summer of 1968 style.
They're looking for a tipping point.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Al Gore said 2 years ago we needed an Arab Spring here in America.
Yeah.
While he sits in his mansion with armed guards, he wants a bunch of teenagers to go around burning stuff down and shooting cops in the head. I mean, that's what an Arab Spring would be here, folks. With a bunch of stupid leftists running around shooting people. We'll be back. Stay with us. It makes me want to throw up.
We're on the march.